What devils? J-Dog back to answer some more goddamn questions. Going over the goddamn paid skis we got from yesterday. 0 paid skis for today, which is some fucking goddamn horseshit. Paid ski list again. Didn't I tell you it's 2 minimum a day? Anyways, fucking these are all from yesterday, I believe. Daniel Cullinan. Paid question. A little bit of a lengthier one, but is there question marks or a shout out? I see a question mark. Sup, Devil? Long time watcher, first time paid skier. Figured I'd do my part, support the cause. Wish the other fucking 3,000 viewers would get that goddamn memo. You've been talking about shithouse corporate radio on the channel lately. It's got mentioned, that's for goddamn sure. Well, I know you said you don't listen to the radio. I'm curious about its impacts, if they exist, on the proliferation of underground tunes. I posted a community radio show for 7 years in Moscow, Idaho. Moscow, Idaho. They're going to say Moscow, Russia. And the show has been going for the last 3 years with a new young buck host. We get HHR promos for the show and play them a lot. I know you checked. I know you checked order history on the channel before, and I am curious. Has there been an increase in house orders to the cities of Moscow, Idaho, or Pullman, Washington? I'd be interested to know how much radio play helps, or if it is just a vestigial tradition from the old days. Best DJ Danny Boy. Yeah, dude, I couldn't tell you. Like when you said I pulled the order history, I can pull like your order history if you tell me what your what email you placed the order under or your last name. I can search your order history by that, dude. That's why I say I love these fucking hoagies, these fucking goddamn jerky arounders. Dude, I've met several of them, several in person. I'm talking about even way before this channel. Actually, I haven't met so many people since starting this goddamn channel. Order from Hells all the time. Oh yeah, what's your name? Tell me what's your first and last name. Tell me it. Spelled like this? Yep. I go back, get back to the place, check. I was like, I don't recognize the name. And just trust me, if you order all the time, I'm gonna recognize your goddamn name. People that order all the time, I recognize the name. Search it up, nothing found. Or one order from 2015, they bought an Evil Incarnate CD or something. I'm like, that's your definition of order all, dude. You're just yanking my goddamn chain. I could verify this shit. Now, cities and shit like that. Number one, I'm not paying too much attention to cities. Number two, it would be impossible for me to say, especially because I mean Idaho. I know Jesus fuck. Other than goddamn potatoes coming from there, I don't know a fucking goddamn thing about that place. Um, I couldn't tell you like when I see it. I couldn't even tell you like how many orders a week we get from Idaho. I don't really pay attention. Um, just like I think somebody asked me in a previous much older episode, like what state gets the most orders. I couldn't even tell you that. Like that kind of shit, I can't search. Maybe Dawg has his goddamn AI shit that he could use or whatever. They could figure that crap out. But it's yeah. Otherwise, I don't. On my end, I don't even know how you'd be able to figure it out. Um. So yeah, but because even like I was just guessing when somebody asked about the state, just because I go by what did I mostly see the most when I'm paying attention. Again, I usually I'm not even paying attention to the goddamn location. Um. If I had to make an educated guess, it's between New York, Texas, California, and that's kind of a lame ass fucking answer because that's kind of like no shit, the biggest states. Why wouldn't you be? But I mean, that's the honest answer. If I had to think of which states do I see the most of, um, you would think it'd be Ohio, right? Granted, we do get a decent amount of Ohio orders now. I'll tell you this one: we don't. There's days that we go by, we get no Ohio orders. I don't know if there's ever. I shouldn't say that. I don't know. As I say, maybe there's some days that go by that there's never a New York order, but I don't know about that. But again, I wasn't paying attention. And I remember the first 5 years of the Hells being around, dude, we barely get an Ohio order. I remember that was the ongoing joke between me, Easy, and Dawg. It was just the three of us running the company for the first 5 to 6 years. And I think the first person we hired on was our younger brother, Craig. He quit in 2020. I think it was 5 years in, maybe a little longer than that. Because I'm trying to think how old I was. I think 6 years in. I think it was 6 or 7 years in. Yeah, 6 or 7 years of starting the company. We hired Craig on. So what the fuck year that would have been? We say Started in 2001, so you figured he started. Yeah, that sounds about right. 2007, 2008. It's about when he started for us, somewhere in that area. He was the first employee we hired, but prior to that, and shit, even kind of when he kind of started, I'm sure there's slim pickings. Dude, I remember like it was rare as fuck to see in Ohio. Now, don't get me wrong, we're talking goddamn old goddamn days. The first 2 years of Hell's Headbangers, there was days. It's not like did you get an order every single day. No, like if there was a day where we got like 5 orders in, that was like, whoa, that's a hot day. That's back when we were living in our parents' house. So you got to start somewhere, right? Um, so I understand those years that the volume of everything's going to go down because your stats are lower. But we'd always have that joke when we were getting to the point where we're running out of the house that we bought together and shit, and that we were getting orders every single day. I mean, just off memory, if you had to ask me, like, how many orders did you average a day back then? I had to guess off memory. First, we're running the business out there, maybe on average, maybe 20 a day. Yeah, probably 20 to 30, something around there. That's just going off memory. I could be wrong on that, but so orders every day though, right? And there'd be you could almost count on one hand how many orders came in from Ohio. It was just laughable. It's like all these fucking. Someone was like these guys that claim they buy all this music. I was like, I don't know at that point if we had the largest distro yet. We may not have then, but we had a very large distro. Why would you buy it from anywhere else than somebody down the goddamn street? And you know who the fuck we are. You know we're fucking doing it. They claim how much fucking metal they're buying. Either it's one of three options at that point. A, you're lying. You don't goddamn buy fucking shit. B, you don't like us, which I don't know. You're hanging around us, you're talking to us, you claim you like us. So I mean, you're at least fucking poker facing it. You came up to us, now not vice versa. I'm not talking about any one person in particular, just handfuls of people. A few are popping my mind, no names mentioned, goddamn it. Or or C, you just like being a goddamn dumbass and being ripped off, ordering from much further destination and let it get more extra banged around in the postal service. So remember those days, but definitely get orders from Ohio every single week now, but I think there's probably some days here and there. I would say most days we get an order from Ohio, but not as much as you would think, being in the same state. So kind of goddamn food for thought. But yeah, could I tell if your station's helping with orders or not, dude? Yeah, I couldn't tell you. The only thing I could tell, and even some of that's not even 100% accurate. The only thing I could definitively say this helped, this marketing helped with sales is this channel. When I could say definitively, and some of those orders I can't even say with that. The only reason I can say, it's not me being biased and pat myself on the back. I can say it because they say it in the comments. I bought it because you recommended it or shouted out. Or if it's something I said that day, they didn't put in the comments, but they literally sold that day. Like let's say I showed an item or whatever, talked about it a lot, and we sold five. But 6 hours later we sold five. That's okay. Obviously, it's because of the video. I can put two and two to fucking together. But back when we used to do the goddamn printed catalogs and advertising and goddamn Decibel and shit before they fucking dropped us because they're a bunch of goddamn anti-Americans, anti-freedom of speech. They hate America. A bunch of goddamn Nazis over there. They claim they're anti-Nazi, but you support Nazi shit by fucking same type of culture by canceling people and trying to get rid of them. Whatever, dude. Makes no goddamn sense. Didn't want to advertise that poser zine anyways. God damn, you see that deplorability that's in there nowadays? But even that, when we were doing that shit, I remember us questioning back then. That's why we weren't bummed when they dropped us. Because we were questioning for a couple of years. Does this shit even help? Like you have no idea. You're putting these $500 ads in there, no idea if it's helping or not. And if it is, it's like we'd always go, okay, so how many more did we sell? Like let's say we advertised the new goddamn Abysmal Lord or whatever in there that we put in the time, and let's say it was a $500 ad. I think that's what it was. It Did you sell that many more? I mean, hell, $500. That's half the pressing cost of a goddamn CD outside of band costs, etc. But just to actually physically press it, it's like, well, even if you sold 10 copies, it's like, okay, you're selling a CD for $10. That's not all profit, mind you. Let's say the profit was $7 a CD. You made $70. You spent 500. You're in the hole. We've always questioned them. It's just, I don't know. Who knows what you're supposed to do? Just advertise doing it. So I remember Easy E and C Dog were kind of like, these fucking goddamn woke tard fucking pussies. Honestly, me, I'm low key. I was kind of like, I'm kind of glad, dude. I just feel like we're wasting money. First off, who the fuck reads zines nowadays? They just read all that shit online. And two, I was always questioning. I was like, I don't even know. I don't even think we're breaking even on this shit. So could never gauge it. The only thing you can totally gauge, like I said, is this goddamn channel. And even some of that, I kind of can't. If somebody buys a Rotten UK CD today, is it because I talked about it? I mean, if they say in the comments, I know that's when it's definitive, or is it because they're gonna pick it up regardless? No idea. So Chris Ernest, paid question. All right, paid question for the channel. Yep, I got that. Jim question trigger alert. Oh, for all the Pringles guzzlers to click the back button on their greasy mouses. You mean the forward button and the goddamn thing skip around? I'm sure tons of guys are doing that, which is whatever. I don't give a fuck. What's your opinion on volume versus high intensity training styles for a natural trainer? I kind of already been over that. What's your opinion on the high intensity principles made famous by Arthur Jones and Mike Menser? I've definitely kind of answered that. Again, I'll be quick since people hate these fucking questions. There's no one style of training. You switch them up. You take one and you run into the ground. Dorian Yates, who obviously really popularized it after Mike Menser, yes, he talks like it's the be all end all because number one, it worked for him. And keep in mind, he kind of like underneath, like he throws it in there so he's not lying. But people fail to remember before he threw that in, he already had vast majority of his size training standard style. He switched to that years later. Vast majority of his muscle mass he already had prior to that. And if it's the greatest thing ever, I can tell you right now, dude, pro bodybuilders, dude, they will do anything, absolutely anything to build muscle and burn fat. So I promise you, if it was the number one system, all the pros of today would be doing it. There's only like two of today, if any, that do it. And even the ones that do it of today, can't think of all the time who it is, but I know there's a couple. They do a more volume. It's kind of like a modified version of what Dorian was doing. If it was so great, they would all be doing it. And again, he's the only Mr. Olympia winner that ever trained like that. So you have one anecdotal report. Yeah, well, Dorian was a mass monster. I hate to break it to you, and I know Dorian hates to hear this too. And they always like to talk about how much better in shape they were on stage. No, you weren't, dude. As far as there's guys just as shredded. How did you want just as shredded as you fucking were coming on stage? I know you don't like to hear it. That gets their fucking feathers ruffled, and they're looking at these old goddamn grainy VHS tapes. But everyone that knows, even the judges that think Steve Weinberger should even came, is like, yeah, who judged the shows since then? Since now, he's like, the guys are way more shredded today than they were in the '90s. Sorry to tell you, they just are. But what I'm going at too, all the guys of today, they're all bigger than Dorian was, all of them. So, and they don't train like that. So if it was the be all end all, that's why it gets. But I get it. That's his market. That's his fucking hustle. And don't get me wrong. I think it has its place, but not year round all the fucking time. And to be completely honest, dude, just because I keep it real, and I'll let you know that Santa Claus ain't fucking real. You know, I know. So sorry to be the disappointer on that. If you're training all natural, dude, and unless you have very, very good genetics, the only reason you should be weight training if you're natural is for health reasons, the health benefits. Because I promise you right now, if you're training for maximal muscle, etc., to be impressive, and nobody's going to even know you lift inside of a t-shirt. Again, unless you have a like really good genetics, there's guys that exist. They're extremely fucking rare. I can honestly tell you, I've never met in person but I do know they exist because I know people that I trust their words that of guys that are. I've never met one person that's impressive. Again, if you're 5'9", 5'10", and if you're going to be single digit body fat, expect to weigh about 150 to 160 pounds. Now, when you take your shirt off, because you'll be very, very lean at that, then people can tell you can work out. But they're only going to tell us because, oh, this guy's pretty, goddamn, this guy's pretty fucking shredded. But in a regular shirt, you're going to just look like a goddamn swimmer. That's just what it is. That's what natural bodybuilding is. That's the way, that's as far as the human body can go. Again, with the exception of genetic outliers. And even then, you're talking like the genetic freaks. When they're single digit body fat, 200 pounds. And now that's pretty big. Single digit body fat at 200 pounds. That's definitely bigger than the average goddamn bear. But you're not going to be anything impressive. So get that shit out of your head right now. And I'm not saying that to fucking be mean. I'm just letting you know because otherwise you got to find out the fucking hard way. And I know the goddamn dog did before, like, find out Santa Claus isn't real because people don't fucking tell you this. They like to tiptoe around it. That's the truth. And nobody else is going to fucking tell you that. So just keep that as food for thought. Not saying you're wasting your time because it has a ton of fucking health benefits. And if you enjoy doing it, that's the number one reason you should be doing it anyways, is for fucking because you enjoy it. So get that out of it. But if you're training, because I'm trying to get jacked, I don't care what method you're doing, dude. You're gonna put out ounces of muscle, and in a shirt, no one's gonna fucking know. I'm just letting you know. And guys out there said, "Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, I know so and so. He's 220." You can get big naturally, but the fluffy big, not with abs and shredded and veins and vascularity and that dry look. You're not getting that big natural. That's 1,000% not happening. 100% not happening. But if you want to be farm boy, big, strong, you can get a decent size natural, yeah. But again, you're gonna when you take your shirt off, you're gonna look like a bag of shit. So yeah, you can have it to where you're natural and look like you lift in a shirt, but you take that shirt off, you're a bag of shit. Or if you just kind of get you strip all the body fat off and get lean, you're gonna look like you don't lift in a fucking shirt, but you take your shirt off. Oh, this guy actually looks good, much better than the average fucking public. No homo. That's the reality. So just make sure you don't understand that. And I'm telling you right now, at least you can decide what you want to do, because none of these other fucking cocksuckers are going to tell you this goddamn shit. You might just be spinning your wheels. The way I look at it, dude, is if you're trying to be a doctor, you should know that you need 9 years of medical school. You should know roughly how much is it going to cost, what's all involved, all for getting the books. Otherwise, if they sell you the dream when you're in high school, yeah, you could be a doctor, Billy, because you really want to be a doctor, and they don't tell you that it's 9 years of fucking paid extra school, you're going to be severely disappointed when you find that fact. Know what you're getting into and know what it entails. That's all I say. And then if you're up for it, absolutely go and do it. But you should know ahead of time. And all these fucking I gotta get it, like all these other fucking elite bodybuilders don't show or tell you all fucking shit. Fucking dogs answers goddamn questions around here for fucking free all the time, daily. Goddamn it, gives you the honest truth, and people want to skip those questions. What do you think of the Tish? Asking dumb shit. So do what you want, but that's the truth, man. So, anyways, let's get one or two questions out on today's video. Then it's just up to an even 20 goddamn mark. Let's just see what's in here if there's interesting anything. We need a new law of euthanasia on these bubbles. We sure goddamn do. Lucas, where's the Steel Panther interview? What the fuck you talking about, homeboy? Distributive call points. HHR Halloween sale this year, J-Dog, question mark? No, but there will be one for Black Friday, unfortunately, because don't really have a choice. Kind of have to. You're pretty much expected to. Timmy Turner, he seems upset. I don't know if I've ever been officially upset recording any goddamn videos. But I do get into it sometimes. That's how it makes it entertaining. Greg Kelly, how many sweet and lows? I didn't catch that. Ghetto trash girl sure did, dude. I'm not even making that shit up, dude. If you meet me in person, if you think my story's exaggerated, ask Elcat if she's standing there. Come out to Dead by Dog. When's Dead by Dog? Dog, when was it? Already been over this last fucking 50 goddamn videos, Bubbles. June 21st, Youngstown, Ohio, West Side Bowl. In the description box, you can get your goddamn tickets. It's on a Saturday, homeboy. You got no excuses. I live in goddamn Vegas, dog. I just went to Vegas, homeboy. There's this invention that came out in about the 1920s or so. They're called airplanes. They get you places real fast. I can't afford that. Get a job, you fucking bum. Vegas to here, it's like 250, $300 for a ticket. That's expensive. Homeboy, if you think 250 to $300 that's going to put you out in life, you got bigger problems, man. I'm telling you right now, because whoo-wee, life's got a hell of a wow coming your way. And yeah, you see Cat there? Ask her if my goddamn sweet and low goddamn story at the Back Daddies. The chick literally did. I may as well have been speaking Japanese. Had no clue what I was talking about. You think I'm exaggerating? Ask her. She was sitting right there. She's laughing her ass off. She knew damn well I was getting fucking just pissed. And it's not pissed because it's that big of a deal. It's fucking principle. Stupid people, they should not be, look at this, should be locked up in a house. They shouldn't even be allowed to associate with society because honestly, you clearly can't. You're too goddamn dumb to get by. Black metal reviews. What's your opinion on this gay liturgy shit? No idea what the fuck you're talking about. John Morris, why would anyone say fuck you to a record? But it looks like it's scratched to shit. I don't know. Half you guys keep telling me I see people's personal collections. They're all beat to hell. Why do you say that to your records? You all bad. What's heavier than Def Leppard? I know that's a common joke to put something in there, but goddamn, dude. Def Leppard, I mean, first album, I guess, is respectable for it is. Second one, High and Dry, I'm not gonna lie, is a pretty decent record. After that, dude, Pour Some Sugar on Me and shit, dude, that's some of the gayest music in history. It's funny because a lot of guys, old school guys too, they give the '80s and shit like this a pass. Especially when they're talking about classic rock, whatever. It's like, hate to break it to you, dude. As much as I hate to admit it, stuff with the '90s and shit, it's homo as hell too. I'm not saying it's not, but as far as heavy and extremity, because the old guys will come in there like, oh, dude, the '80s, this is fucking great. Stuff like Cold Chamber, Marilyn Manson, Pantera, Disturbed, it kind of blows a lot of that fucking '80s garbage fucking away, to be honest with you. I'm not talking about good '80s shit. Don't come in here saying fucking something stupid. Put it to you this way: who's fucking better? Pour Some Sugar on Me or Marilyn Manson, The Beautiful People? I would take that. I would take Beautiful People over fucking Pour Some Sugar on Me. Jesus fuck! Every time that I hear that song, I walk in somewhere, feel like I'm getting a goddamn sex change. Shit's homo as hell. Harry Quinn, dog. Have you ever met Evan Centopani? Yes, I have briefly. He is a definition of a go-getter. How do you rate his physique when he was at his prime? Extremely fucking good. Yes. He's actually too personality-wise. He's one of my favorite pro bodybuilders ever. He's basically retired now, but due to injury, which is where outside the gym, he fell on ice and tore his quad. Very cool guy. Um, he's one of the few people in the industry that I consider not a shitbag. Maybe I shouldn't use the word shitbag because most of the pros and people in the bodybuilding industry, I don't think they're shitbags. I think they're, how do I want to word this? Selfish gatekeeping of information, just out for themselves, fake. I would say, yeah, that's the way I like. Like, for example, Nick Walker, do I like him? Yes. And he's one of my favorite physique. Him and Hadi Chubar are my two favorite, like, pro bodybuilder physiques at the moment of today. But he's a liar. Like he's 100% a liar. He's fake. Everything he does is drug dose and shit like that's completely downplayed. Now I understand from one perspective they don't want to talk about it openly because they don't want some 16-year-old kid to go out and try it. Well, it's like, well, first off, let's break that down. I can understand that mentality, but at the same time, number one, no 16-year-old kid is going to be able to have access to all the shit you're talking about. Number two, no 16-year-old is going to be able to fucking afford all the fucking shit you're talking about. And number three, if you're actually talking nitty gritty of what a lot of these pros do, and I've talked to some of them in person behind the scenes, the actual honest ones. So I know, and I've talked to multiple fucking coaches, I've hired some that I've worked with, and you get the down dirty. That I'm telling you, none of these guys online are telling you the fucking truth. A 16-year-old is not going to, a 20-year-old is not going to try it. They're going to be scared shitless. They're going to be shocked beyond belief what goes behind closed doors. You have no idea. If you just think it's a couple steroid injections a week and they're going to the gym and eating, it's a fuck of a lot more extreme than that. A fuck of a lot more. Back in Arnold's day, yeah, a couple shots a week and popping a few D balls pre workout. That's basically what they did. That was a drug protocol. That was it. That's fucking nothing. Nowadays, it's a whole. I mean, they're walking goddamn pharmacies, literally. I'm not even talking about steroids. It's all kinds of pharmacology. So it's going to scare most people away when they hear it. Because when I started hearing some guys' numbers for the first time and shit, I was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, like, and that was already when I was deep into this, going, been Olympia a couple times and been around the block, been in this, not somebody that just got this last weekend. I was shocked. So they're not going to do it anyways. So Evan, little bit more on the honest side. Funny guy, cool guy, and yeah, just a little less. I'll give you a shit bag. Is Ben Pekulski? That's a shit. That's a shit bag in the scene. Retired pro bodybuilder. Why is he a shit bag? I'll tell you exactly why he's a shit bag. So here's the thing: is he retired, and his reasoning for saying why he retired is because not verbatim, but I'm pretty sure it was along these lines. His wife got pregnant. He wanted to focus on his daughter. That's horseshit. That's not the reason. People in the loop know what the reason is. He pulled out because his kidneys were failing, and I'm pretty sure he went through dialysis, or maybe he was able to get him back. I don't know, but he went through kidney fucking failure. He never went out and telling anybody. Now, What does that matter, dog? Because, dude, that's a selfish fucking piece of shit. You're in the place to where you can help people. Let's figure this shit out together because there's no studies on fucking bodybuilders with all this goddamn shit you're putting in your body. Let's learn from each other. And the only way to do that is sharing information and being honest about it, and you can actually help somebody the fuck out. If he talked about it, okay, well, what caused that? Was it diuretics? Was it a super high protein diet? Was it certain anabolics you were using? Was it high dose growth hormone? What was it? What can we pinpoint to it? Was it just your blood pressure was high and you weren't controlling that? What was the cause? That way, other people can learn from it and be like, all right, let's not do this. Instead, he gatekeeps it, doesn't want to talk about it. It's nobody's medical business. It's not, you're a public figure, dude. You could be helping hundreds of thousands of people, you dumb, selfish son of a bitch. That's why people like that are shitbags. As opposed to Evan, yeah, no, I absolutely respect him, Roman Fritz. There's a good handful, but most of them are just gatekeepers and they're just completely off in the fucking selves. And I mean, I can understand the mentality, but the ones like I said, like you brought up Evan, I think that they're hell up. They get a hell lot more respect out of me. I'll just say that. I didn't get to talk to him extensively though. It was one of those fucking scenarios where it was at the expo. This was I think in 2017, 18 at the Olympia Expo. And he had a bunch. I didn't want to hold up his line, so I only asked him a couple things. So I would have liked to talk to him much longer, as opposed to some guys. It wasn't a line scenario. I either bumped into him like Breon Ansley. I first met him, but it was at the first Classic Physique Olympia when he came in fifth or whatever. It was in the division. It was brand new. It was literally the first year I was there. He was sitting at the Crocodile Bar at the Orleans. We were having a beer. It's just literally that's how I met the guy. Didn't even know who the fuck he was. Sat there and shot the shit. Sean Ray. I met Sean Ray in a fucking hour taxi line. He was the one standing next to us in the line of the taxi outside the Orleans. There's been other fucking scenarios. So, but in the Evan scenarios, it was the inline shake. And granted, I didn't have to wait in an hour line or anything, but there was people behind him. I'm not gonna sit there holding up and be that. I'm not gonna be that goddamn guy. So, but yeah, he'd be one I'd like to kind of sit down and pick his brain a little bit more. So that's where we're at. That comes with surgery. Look at the guy. Morning later. Goddamn it.